Hello guys, welcome back to Origin's computer classes. Uploading video after a long time. Actually, it was my semester exam, so I was a bit busy. So today I am going to start a new playlist on Java, right? So before knowing the features of Java and all, we must know the mother of Java, that is object oriented programming. सी अब जावा जो लैंग्वेज है सी जावा इज अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज a programming language, what is it and all that I have already explained in my videos when I have taught about Python and C programming language. So यकीन है मुझे कि आपको प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज क्या होता है ये सब कुछ अभी आता है, राइट? सो जावा इज ऑल्सो प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज, बट जावा का ये अपना एक स्टाइल होता है. इट फॉलोज इट्स ओन स्टाइल, that is called object oriented programming. That is, you call it a programming paradigm, means it follows a style of writing code, right? So Java, before knowing Java, what Java is, how it actually works, so we must know what is object oriented programming first. उसके बाद आपको जावा बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आएगा. ओके, विदाउट दिस जावा इज नथिंग. सो अब मुझे बोलिए, ये जो वर्ड है ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग, इट ऑब्वियसली इससे तो एक बात आपको समझ रहे, अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज दैट इज फॉलोइंग द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट्स, राइट? तो अब ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑब्वियसली मतलब इट हैज अ लिटरल मीनिंग, जैसे हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं सामान, राइट? सो दैट मीनिंग इज ओनली इट इज द सेम मीनिंग हियर. So Java, actually in Java, each piece of instruction or code, we will treat it in the form of objects, right? अब आप लोग बोलेंगे कि अब ऑब्जेक्ट्स तो मतलब लाइक सो ऐसे सामान, मतलब सामान इन द सेंस, अब जावा में जैसे लाइक जावा विल बी यूज टू बिल्ड अ सॉफ्टवेयर, so that software will be a piece of, like it will be like a piece of object for user, right? To the end user we will deliver the product in the form of apps or in the form of other softwares, right? So that is how it is treated like an object, फाइन. तो अब हम आपको सरप्राइज लगेगा कि हम आज एक्चुअली ऑब्जेक्ट के बारे में, ऑब्जेक्ट्स का क्या प्रॉपर्टीज होते हैं उसके बारे में जानेंगे. सरप्राइजिंग ना? लेकिन जावा में लाइक वी इट इज द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. ये जो 4 पिलर्स है दैट इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. ये एक्चुअली कुछ नहीं है, नथिंग इज देयर. जैसे हम लोग नॉर्मल सामान को देखते हैं उसका कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज होते हैं, सेम प्रॉपर्टीज आर बीइंग फॉलोड हियर, राइट? सो लेट अस स्टार्ट. So first of all, object oriented programming, it is following the concept of objects, that is the first thing. Now among these 4 pillars, coming to the first pillar, that is abstraction. Abstraction is our first property. Now guys, अब आप लोग मुझे बोलिए, now when आपके पास अगर कोई सामान है, अब now थिंक लाइक अ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर, अगर आप कोई भी ऐप या प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं, ठीक है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई टेक फॉर एग्जाम्पल द टीवी रिमोट, ओके? अब देखिए, आपको यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ सिस्टम फॉर द यूजर. नाउ यूजर को उसका फंक्शनलिटी, हाउ इट इज वर्किंग इंटरनली, इसके बारे में क्या यूजर को कोई मतलब होना चाहिए? नो, राइट? So that is what abstraction means. Abstraction in layman's language, you can say like it is hiding the complex implementation from user. Complex implementation from user, right? Or you can say like hiding the details of the code. So like जैसे अगर मैं टीवी रिमोट का बात करूँ, so I am only concerned as an end user कि I should press the power key and it should turn on the TV. Fine. I am least bothered about how the button is registering and how the TV is actually receiving that signal. As an end user, I am least bothered about it. So basically, I am concerned about what input I am giving and the output I should get as expected. So abstraction will, what will it do? As a programmer, you should use abstraction as a method to hide the complexities from user. What are the benefits of it? अगर benefits देखा जाए तो lots of benefit. First of all, the first advantage is, पहले आप अगर देखिए कि if I just bring up the complexities in front of the user will get confused. What is, मतलब इतना सारा implementation ये सब वगैरह कुछ उसको मालूम नहीं है. अगर मालूम नहीं है, it is of course मतलब end user के लिए that product is useless, क्योंकि वो they will get confused. So first thing is, of course, it makes it simple. And second one is, देखो, and as we are hiding the internal implementation, that means it is secure. So security is another advantage, another point of abstraction. Fine. So this is actually the first property. अगर आप देखें तो that is the first property of even objects also. Objects may be like the internal working, any engineered material. So I've talked about TV remote. अगर say if I talk about car, you are driving. Are we bothered about how its engine is working or how is it running? No, just we are driving and reaching the destination. So abstraction is hiding the internal mechanism. Second property, the second feature of object-oriented programming is polymorphism. These terms are like new to you guys, so it may be a bit tough initially. लेकिन इसमें कुछ नहीं है. जैसे देखिए poly, अब polynomial मैथ्स में सुना ही होगा आप लोगों ने. So polynomial, poly means more than, many. Poly means many, right? Poly means many, and morphism means forms. So actually, an object also in real life can have many forms. Yes or no? An object in real life can have many forms. So in Java also, in object-oriented programming, like a function or code you are writing can be implemented in many softwares. अब आपको लग रहा होगा कि रियल लाइफ में तो ऐसे नहीं होता कि ऑब्जेक्ट इज एग्जिस्टिंग इन डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स. अच्छा, आप मुझे बोलिए, दिस मार्कर, दिस इज अ मार्कर विद द कैप, राइट? सो इसका विद द कैप इट इज वन फॉर्म. नाउ आई रिमूव द कैप. इज इट द सेम एज बिफोर? नो, but it is the same marker but without the cap. So that means it is another form of this marker. Yes or no? अगर मैं और एक एग्जांपल आपको दूं, like it this full concept is based on real life examples, ठीक है? And practically we will be implementing it using Java code, but Java follows all these properties. That is why Java is first of all an object oriented programming language. ठीक है? अगर और एक एग्जांपल का polymorphism, if I say suppose a delivery person, okay, like he can deliver you either letters. So if the delivery person is a postman, then that delivery person is going to deliver you letters. But if the delivery person is from an e-commerce website like Amazon or any other like Snapdeal, okay, so they will deliver you the materials which you order for. If it is, suppose say if it is Zomato, then they are going to deliver you foods, right? But it is same delivery person, but they are existing in many forms as per the requirement. So that is polymorphism. So it is like the code, just know it, like having, it means it is having more than one form, having more than one form. Fine. Having more than one form. Next comes your encapsulation. Now encapsulation, see, you must have heard this term capsule, okay? And if you have seen the capsule के अंदर बहुत सारा medicines and like when you turn and twist it, there are many medicinal properties inside it which has been injected already, and then when you have it, it will show its benefits effectively. So in Java, actually, like if I talk about object oriented programming, first of all, it wraps the data and the code together, right? The data members and the code together, okay, and then hides it from the user. Now, how is it different from abstraction, sir? You also said in abstraction also we hide the complexities. In encapsulation, you are saying wraps the data and the code together and then hiding it. Actually, it is like, in if I talk about encapsulation more specifically, it is like wrapping an object. It is like packaging your software which you are developing, right? Say suppose, like for abstraction, I have given you an example of the TV remote. You don't know the complexities, but the remote you are utilizing. But see, suppose when you buy an object, it comes up to you in a wrapped up format, right? In a packaged, in a sealed format. So that is what encapsulation is. Actually, it is wrapping up all your data elements. मतलब यूजर को या फिर any other users को समझ नहीं आना चाहिए कि how it is actually, मतलब like the data elements and the data members all are wrapped together in a manner so that no other users can understand your code. Fine. So like it is just wrapping up, or it is wrapping up of the code and data elements. So like you know what kind of data are being used in the code, but you don't know how the data is getting processed in the code. That is the clear concept about encapsulation. It is just wrapping up your code and data members together, but you don't know about how it is getting implemented. Fine. And the last concept is your inheritance. अब inheritance, if I talk, inheritance का मतलब, see, अब real life में when we talk about inheritance, अब inherit का मतलब क्या होता है? To get something from your parents, right? So like the characteristics, your intelligence, your witty that you get from your parents, okay, or from your ancestors even, right? Similarly, Java specifically any object oriented programming language, not only Java, this object oriented programming's fourth pillar is inheritance, whereby it any other class, okay, class means you can consider a group of other objects, can inherit some properties from its parent class. This was it may be a bit confusing. Let us take an example. I take this example actually commonly. So the common example you can think about is, say suppose mammals are an object, okay, like a body. We consider in physics, in science, we consider everything as an object. Even we are also objects, okay, a body, like. So similarly, say suppose mammals, we consider it as an object. Fine. So I am just erasing this portion. If I talk about inheritance separately, so here I am just discussing, say suppose I am mammals is a group. Can we say that mammals is a group? Yeah. So mammals, obviously, because it has so many living beings inside it, right? We come under mammals, then dogs come under mammals, then cat comes under mammals. So like it is a class of objects, yes or no? It is itself a object and it is also a class of objects, right? So say suppose if dog is an object, so instead of writing individually the properties of the dogs, like it barks, okay, I mean, like it breastfeeds its child, okay, its puppies and all, instead of doing that separately, and then again for cat also, there these are the some common properties of mammals, like breastfeeding, okay, like they lay without laying eggs, like they can give birth to babies, okay, like we human beings also, we do not lay any, like obviously it is not like aves or any other group. So these are some common properties, so these are some common properties associated with mammals. So if we separately just define the properties separately for dog, that it breastfeeds its puppies, right, cat it breastfeeds, so instead of separately, then human beings, we just take mammals as a class, then it actually, the dog will inherit some properties from it, the cat will also inherit the same properties from it, human beings will also inherit the same properties from it. So that is what the concept of inheritance is, okay. And then also tiger will inherit the same properties from the class mammals, right. So this is how it makes your work easy actually. See now, what makes dog unique from the cat, those properties we will define under dog, like dog barks, fine, right. How, what makes human beings separate from the dogs, that property only we will write under human beings. So like human beings knows how to speak while dog barks, right. So these are the unique properties about the dog and the human beings that makes them separate. But the common properties, which like the breastfeeding, okay, like having hairs in the body, okay, so these are the properties of mammals. So why should we separately write it again and again, for one time for dog, again another time for human beings, again another time for cat, again another time for, so this becomes hectic. So inheritance makes it easy for you, like it is defining, we can say it as a parent class, as a parent class it has some properties, and then these are your child classes, these are your children, they will inherit the properties from this parent class. And so that is the concept of inheritance. So these are the four properties of object oriented programming. Let us summarize it once again. So abstraction का क्या मतलब होता है, it means hiding of the complexities, the implementation, hiding the implementation complexities from the user. रिमोट आप दबाया टीवी ऑन हो जाना चाहिए, अब रिमोट कैसे काम करते हैं उससे थोड़ी ना हमको मतलब होना चाहिए, दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड टू प्रोवाइड टू द एंड यूजर. Polymorphism, having more than one form, like so this is marker with cap, without cap, okay. And मतलब जोमेटो से अगर डिलीवरी बॉय आएगा तो ऑब्वियसली आपको खाना देने आएगा, थोड़ी आपको चिट्ठियाँ देने आएगा, नहीं ना. हाँ, और पोस्टमैन का काम होता है आपका गर्लफ्रेंड का चिट्ठी आपको डिलीवर करना. सो दैट इज अनदर फॉर्म ऑफ डिलीवरी पर्सन, and Zomato boy is another form of delivery person. So polymorphism, that is another property of object oriented programming. Similarly encapsulation मतलब आपने कैप्सूल खाया होगा जिंदगी में, कैप्सूल अगर आप खाया होगा तो मतलब it is like wrapping up the essential, the data and the code together. So अब Java, that is why it is code, मतलब encapsulation वैसे आपने सुना ही होगा, because it is like wrapping up everything. अगर मेडिसिन में आप कैप्सूल खाते हो, द मेडिसिनल वैल्यूज आर रैप्ड अप इनसाइड दैट कैप्सूल, right. So in case of code, in case of Java, the code and the data members are wrapped up together in the form like the package you do when Amazon delivers you something, it does a packaging of that product, right? So that packaging thing is done, that wrapping up thing is done by this encapsulation. And last but not the least, inheritance. Inheritance मतलब obviously आपका parents and ancestors से कुछ inherit करना. In quote, this inheritance is useful in this way. This is one example I have taken कि like mammal is a parent class, then उसका properties, instead of writing this properties separately, just mammals का properties इस class में define होगा in the class mammals, and then those properties will be inherited by dog also, by cat also, by human being also. Obviously there are many types of inheritance. Okay, fine. This is like one parent with many child. It can also be like that. Matlab, of course, like my mother is, I am the child of my mother, then I can have my child, then that child can have his or her own child. So that is like a long sequence of inheritance. So these types we will be discussing in the upcoming classes. So that's all for today's class. Thank you guys.